So in Baron, the last item here talks about building a record of progressive scholarly and professional achievement to fulfill the universal requirement for the RTP process. So what is that, and what would a student who'd never worked in an academic environment, how would they address that?
So the RTP process, you're going to hear that a lot. That stands for retention, tenure, and promotion. And as I mentioned, you can go to the Science Librarian video. I go into a little bit more depth about that. But I'll tell you, SLIS students are not going to have too much of a problem with that. It's kind of the equivalent of doing your e-portfolio every 2 years for 6 years. So if you've done an e-portfolio, you're going to be able to do it. It's just demonstrating, so we call it a dossier, you call it e-portfolio. It's just a record of everything I've done, conferences I've attended, conferences where I've spoken, poster sessions I've done, articles I've written, contributions I've made to the campus, contributions I've made to the library, contributions I've made to the community. It's just a collection of those things, but that's where the individual has to be responsible in a way that keeps track of all that information and then presents it. And is that not the definition of the e-portfolio as well? So just imagine doing the e-portfolio 3 more times every 2 years. And then after 6 years, it goes before the provost, where the provost decides, yes, this person receives tenure, no, this person doesn't receive tenure. What tenure means is that you're in, is another way of saying that. You are a part of the SJSU community or whatever campus that you're on.
So you would recommend bringing the e-portfolio and showcasing it in the interview?
You know what? Instead of just bringing the e-portfolio and showcasing it, why don't you evolve the e-portfolio and the information you have in the e-portfolio, maybe repackage it and highlight achievements or highlight your progress, because you are having to demonstrate what you want to demonstrate during the application process is the ability to learn and become a scholar in this field, which is what I know SLIS students have the opportunity of doing while they're here in this program. So don't let the RTP tenure process unnerve you too much. If you're a SLIS student and you've already done the gauntlet of the e-portfolio, just know that is this something that you might be able to do a couple more times, and if the answer to that is yes, then be encouraged to apply.